Hello, this is a prepaid call from an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Red Onion State Prison. To accept this call, press 0.
This is Randall Via, currently serving 1,214 years for capital murder and armed robbery. Currently being housed at King Mountain Correctional Center in Oakwood, Virginia, USA. Welcome to the podcast, Red Onion Randy. I hope you enjoyed listening today. If you have any questions or comments or want to leave a message or whatever, I've got a voicemail line. That number is 1-888-524-1932. You can also visit my website, which is new and improved and got different features and whatnot, at www.redonionrandy.com. I hope you do. Let's get started with the podcast. Today, I'm going to talk about the California wildfires. From an inmate's perspective, from a political perspective, and from just the way I see it. First of all, my condolences goes out to those who, lost family members, who lost everything. That's a terrible blow to take. And then to make it even worse, from what I've seen on TV, is you have people are using it to make political points. And to me, that's utterly ridiculous. Like, I can't remember the guy's name, but they had him on News Nation, and he came out and said, well, this is what the elitist left have been wanting. They got answers to their prayers. You burned out the colonizers in Hollywood. What an asinine thing to say. People lost family members. People lost their homes. And you think this is an opportunity to take a political shot at the left? And you wonder why the country is so fucked up. You wonder why we can't never get the Democrats and Republicans to work together in government and actually do something productive for a change. Literally the last time that the two parties have worked together was World War II. It's been nothing but infighting ever since. It's been nothing but our agenda, our agenda, our agenda. And it's because of people like you. Dude, you are an asshole. And I really, really hope something bad happens to you. I hope your house burns down. Because you took somebody else's tragedy and you turned it into a political meme. And yet, people have the audacity to call criminals criminals. But yet, every single person in here that I've spoken to about this situation, you can actually see the frustration in their eyes that there's nothing they can do. Yeah, there's a lot of selfish people in here. But even with that being said, I never once heard a single person in here say anything other than supportive of what those people are going through. Now, you want to look at it from a political point of view. I can do that. Because there is something I've noticed. I've seen numerous wildfires strike this country in my 46 years of living. And the only time I've seen them get this kind of media coverage is only when it targets the rich and the famous, the celebrities, and so on and so forth. Let's look at Hurricane Helene for a second. Let's just take a step back to the last natural disaster we had. I'm living in that area. Oakwood, Virginia. Yeah, we didn't get hit as bad as a lot of other areas, especially in western North Carolina. But I know a lot of COs here that they were directly impacted. They lost homes. They lost family members. And yet, I didn't see the Red Cross commercials popping up during the football games to help them. And granted, I only have 15 television stations, and those television stations suck ass. But for the fire that was threatening, celebrities' homes, Jennifer Garner, and so on and so forth, Kamala Harris, and their neighborhoods, which I don't think any of their homes actually burned down. It's mostly just middle class and poor people who actually suffered the brunt of it. But yet you still got people in Southwest Virginia and Western Carolina still have no home. They're still living out of a small suitcase with 2 or 3 changes of clothing. They're still living on the charity of the people from this area, because I haven't seen or even heard any of the people that live here, staff members, talk about the government coming in and helping them to rebuild, helping them to do this. Oh yeah, they're repairing some of the roads and what have you, but they're not helping people rebuild houses. There was no hundreds of millions of dollars raised for them. But yet you've got this wildfire in Hollywood, in LA. And yet everybody is turning up to help them. If you're going to make a political point, make it on something like that. Why the disparity between the 2 different regions? Why the disparity between the 2 different socioeconomic classes in this country? The rich, famous person's house is in danger of burning down, and oh my God, we have to stop the fucking presses. We must do something to help this rich person, because they can't possibly rebuild. But yet, you have tens of thousands of Appalachians, and they just got to suck it up and deal with it the best they can, because ain't nobody going to raise a hand to do shit for them. If you're going to make a political point, at least make it a legitimate political point, not a half-assed colonizer joke. Now, one of the things that has come out about this fire, which I thought was really interesting and pretty cool, though a little sad at the same time, you have inmate firefighters. I mean, first of all, that's pretty cool. Because I actually knew a CO at Red Onion. He worked there for about 11 months, and then he just like, you know what, I can't take this, I'm quitting. And he walked out. But before he started working for Red Onion, that's what he did. He was one of those, I can't remember exactly what they're called, but one of the jumpers. They would actually parachute into the forest fires and, create fire breaks and do what they could to battle the fires. And just listening to him tell me the stories, talking about the camaraderie, the danger, the adrenaline, and, just everything that goes along with it, like, that would be pretty freaking cool. So You know, if Virginia ever started a program, I would volunteer for it in a heartbeat. I guarantee they wouldn't give it to me, but, you know, hell, I can't even get transferred to the incentive prison, and I've been almost 20 years charge-free. So that's not surprising there. But this is the thing. You've got prisoners are willing to risk their lives to put out these fires. That says something about them. How many people, and look, people can sit there and say, oh, yeah, well, they're only doing it for the $27 a day. All right, well, first of all, they only make $27 a day when there's an actual fire that they're fighting against. So that fire has lasted 10, 11 days. So we're just going to say 10 just to be on the safe side. That's $270. They risk their life for $270. Worse, hell, because believe me, I would much rather die in a forest fire or a house fire or any other kind of fire than have to sit there and just walk around and live with first, second, or third degree burns for the rest of my life. To live with that constant pain, oh, that. So trust me, these people, and I know inmates, I know prisoners better than most, they're not doing it for $27 a day. They're not risking their life for $270. Especially when the legitimate firefighters, wildland fighters, whatever you call them, are getting paid 10 times that amount. Because I can tell you right now, they get paid pretty damn good money. And the interesting thing is, they go through these programs, they learn how to do this, and they actually go out and they do a good job. And see, that's the thing right there, people. You have a lot of states that just have prisoners just sitting in a pod, watching TV or playing a video game or reading a book or whatever the case may be, and it's dead time. It's dead time. But yet, you have these certain guys that they go to school, they go to class, they exercise together. Like, they train themselves to work. They find pride in what they're doing. And from the reports I've seen, the overwhelming majority of those who join this program, go through this program, they get the days knocked off their sentences, they go home. These guys don't come back to prison. It is extremely rare for one of them to violate their parole or probation and come back to prison. And yet nobody wants to make this nationwide. You have all kinds of labor in here that you could pay cheaply and get really great work out of them, but you instill in them a work ethic. You train them to work instead of sitting around on their ass watching TV, playing games all day. And when you do something like that, when you risk your life for others, it makes you think about other people. You lose that selfishness that you came to prison with. And yes, if you get locked up with the exception of actually being an innocent person, breaking the law, committing crimes is an inherently selfish, narcissistic act. Trust me, I know. First-hand experience after all. I've been doing this for 33 years, juvenile and adult. And that's my question. Just not necessarily to you specifically, but just my question in general to the universe, to God, government, whoever. Why do we only do the right thing on a small scale? but we always do the wrong thing on a large scale. I'm in prison, and I've been in prison for a long, long time. And I've talked to tens of thousands of prisoners from all walks of life. And for the most part, the overwhelming majority of us would love to have a real job. Even if we didn't get paid minimum wage or so on and so forth. Like an episode I said in the past, just pay us $6 a day. $2 goes back to the state to help pay for our upkeep, feeding us medical, transportation, so on and so forth. $2 goes to a victim's fund, to just pay it back a little bit. And the other $2, one, goes into our savings for when we do get out of prison, so we go home with money on our books. And then the other $1 we get to spend, for commissary, hygiene, whatever the case may be. That's why, to all of you inmate firefighters, to all of you prisoners who maybe hear this episode for whatever reason, keep up the good work. Keep doing what you're doing, because you and I both know why you're doing it, and it's not $27 a fucking day. You got people out there saying, oh, well, they're getting paid way too much, they're getting paid way too much. Yet the people saying that are probably making $20, $30, $40 an hour. But yet, because we're a prisoner, we're not allowed to get paid what we're worth. I'm really getting sick of America. I love this country. I believe in this country. But there needs to be an attitude change. People need to stop thinking about themselves. People need to stop dividing themselves along party issues. We're not Republican Americans. We're not Democratic Americans. We're fucking Americans, plain and simple. Look, if you see somebody willing to risk their life, regardless of whether they fucked up and broke the law, man, throw a little support their way. Just throw out a tweet, hey, man, we appreciate what y'all doing. Whether you ever know it or not, thank you for fighting against these fires for us. Thank you for saving people's homes. It's not that complicated. When did we stop supporting one another? When did we stop helping one another? And that's my issue. It's we're losing ourselves. We're losing who we were, who we should be standing for. Remember 9/11? Remember when that happened, when the whole country came together? We came together so long as the media was talking about 9/11. And then as soon as a new story came up and they went to that, all of a sudden people went back and just like, you know what, y'all, if you don't believe in what I believe in, you. I am ashamed of my fellow man. Here I am in prison. Yeah, I've done.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Yeah, I've done some really bad things. But I'm trying to put some good out there in the world. These other inmates that are fighting these fires are trying to put some good out there in the world. And all people can talk about is they make $27 a day. It's a damn shame. Wake up, people. Start supporting one another. If you start supporting one another, you'll reap what you sow, and people will start supporting and helping you. That's the only way to truly make this country great again, is to help one another and stop being a dick. I appreciate you folks listening to me. Remember, if you want to leave some feedback on the show or, ask a question or whatnot, again, that number inside the continental U.S. is 1-888-524-1932. Anyone outside the U.S., just put a plus in front of the 1. Works just the same. You can also visit me my website at redonionrandy.com or find me on X at redonionrandy. You don't have to, but if you want to, wherever you listen to my podcast, go on and give me some stars, or whatever is appropriate for that platform. I'll take whatever you can give me and be damn grateful for it. But, I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to grow the podcast. I'm trying to reach more people. I'm trying to get my voice out there to help people. The crazy thing is I actually am helping people. And in the process, I'm helping myself. So do what you can. And don't forget, I got sweatshirts, T-shirts, and maybe some other merch coming soon. You can find the link on the website, redonionrandy.com. And y'all take care and stay safe out there. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you for using GTL.